Good morning and welcome to Java and Jugs on the Daily Atheist Media Channel. I'm Ryan, one of your hosts, and we've got a jam-packed show for you this morning. We're diving into several hot topics, starting with the new secularism bill being proposed in Quebec and what it could mean for real-world religious expression. Then we're going to be taking a look at Erica Kirk at Mom Dami Meltdown, her ongoing stunt tour across religious extremist platforms, and now her upcoming appearance with CBS's very own extremist Barry Weiss. And of course, we can't forget the Samantha Fulnecki shabacle going on. The Christian college student who wrote a disastrously bad paper, got the grade that she earned, and then immediately cried religious persecution, a la Riley Gaines style. And what ties these all together? Well, just like Bill 21 from Quebec, they're all extreme points of view dressed up as moral clarity. But the impact affects us all. So why don't we get into it? Welcome, ladies. It's so good to see you. I hope you had a beautiful weekend. Hello. And hello to everybody in the audience. Missed you all. Hi.
I know. It's so weird when we're all on so many of us are on camera so often to go like 2 days and not see each other. It's like, right. What is happening? Is the world deserted? What's going on?
Yeah, it's almost like when you work with people every day and then you have like a couple weeks off of vacation, you're like, I actually wonder what these people are up to. I hope they're okay. I kind of miss hanging out. Kelly, welcome.
I don't know if it'd go that far.
Well, my technical stuff is
like you guys actually like work people are like people who just happen to be there, and great if you get along, great if you build a real friendship, but they're still work people, you know, like you didn't pick them. Yeah. So the odds of them being connected is
Well, you guys picked me, so that figures.
Kelly, we choose you, Kelly Chew.
Now get in this tiny ball.
Come get in my balls. Speaking
Actually,
of balls,
Pikachu never had to get in a ball, did he? Well, like one episode or something.
Gotta catch them all.
He was like, no, I'm not doing it. And he just didn't. And I love that.
Everybody. Good to see you. So happy that you could join us. Love having you here. Yeah. Good morning, Seth. Why? Because we bro, Rainbow Ash. Oh, who's Satanic Panic? Take a pill, assholes.
It's a new person.
Okay, Ela.
Ho ho ho.
Ho ho ho. Merry Satanist.
Happy holidays. A glorious Saturnalia and honor to your house.
Yeah, that's coming up. We'll probably do that maybe next week. We'll have a little Christmassy, quote unquote, Saturnalia type solar festive, maybe kind of show. I think that would be
Sol Invictus, yes. Because oh goodness. Yule, the birth of the newborn sun, but Sol Invictus, the festival of the conquering sun. So we've got baby sun and we've got invader sun, and they'll go to war because there's actually two suns. The flat earthers were right all along. Where's my tinfoil hat?
I brought mine today, so that way we can get into all the conspiracies. Just kidding.
We should have a tinfoil hat day where we all make fancy tinfoil hats and react to tinfoil hat things.
I like it.
I think I have one around here somewhere. I got to repair it. It got broken by the last time. So one of our co-hosts who isn't here right now, Maya, produces a show called Bad Sign Sunday. Kelly was on it last night. You should check it out. It was a fun time. But on one of the shows, I actually made a tinfoil hat, but it was broken by the evil weasel doctor that is also on that show. And for some reason has an unnatural fixation with magnets. I don't know how he got magnets to work on aluminum foil, but he is a physicist with lasers and shit. So
magnets. Who doesn't love magnets? We don't know how magnets work. We just know that they work.
Who knows?
Who knows? So did you all have an okay weekend? Anything good happen? Anything bad happen? Anybody wants to share? Ladies?
I went on my first ever bar crawl. I'm not normally a drinker, but it was a lot of fun. I went to downtown Detroit for like a pop-up Christmas market, and a good time was by all.
Nice. She didn't even invite
I love markets.
I see how she thinks.
I will invite you next time. I had to meet people first. I'll tell you more about it later, Kelly. It was fantastic.
I know. I just be messing with you, you know. I know.
Anybody else get up to anything fun? bar crawls are I haven't done that in years, but I enjoy a bar crawl.
I usually do that for the St. Patty Day time. That's when I usually do my bar crawl thing.
That's when I did it. I did it several
Yeah.
years ago, and now I won't celebrate St. Patty's Day. Now I refuse to celebrate it because what it means.
That's Irishist.
Yeah.
Don't you know that's our most sacred holiday, lassie? That was more Scottish. Don't mind me. I'm American. I can't do accents.
Better than what I could do. I thought that was pretty good, actually. Chris George says Quebec French Canada PM of France, Francois Bayrou, faced scrutiny with secular-minded political figures and media reports stating that he views Catholicism, as part of a French identity or DNA. What? Ew, no thank you.
Secular Catholicism? I'm not.
Yeah, it's in my DNA,
That doesn't compute. But that's interesting that this gets brought up, because the reason such things get mentioned, sort of like in the UK, they're talking about like cultural Christianity, is so they can get around secular laws, like the one being proposed for Quebec. That's why it got mentioned.
Well,
because like the guy wouldn't have said anything if they weren't facing down the barrel of the secular law. He's trying to say Catholicism is secular, so it won't be banned by this new law.
Yeah, lies. Lies the preachers and Bible told me. Jess, you were the one who suggested this article. Do you want to tell us why this was something you thought would be pertinent to talk about today? Because I agree with you. I think that as much as like I'm a secular person, I think that
exactly.
It's
like they're trying to sneak it in. They're trying to sneak in this, it's just separation of church and state. Meanwhile, it's racist AF for minorities. And I'm blown away actually by the, I guess, almost underhandedness of how this feels. Because they're doing it under the guise of separation from church and province, I guess, in this way. But there's a lot of talk that it's going against our charter, which is kind of like your constitution, wherein people have the freedom of expression and to wear what they like, and it telling people that they can no longer do that, number one. Oh, okay. What do you guys think about it? Not even just the article that I sent, but the one from this morning as well that has the who was it? The
There's
Canadian
more.
Civil Liberties Association. And the bill is specifically Bill 21. And the Civil Liberties Association is fighting this bill because of the fact that it violates human rights and harms people who are already marginalized.
Right. So basically this bill is going to ask, I think, pretty much anybody who works around children to stop sharing their
Not even
religious.
children. I mean, at some point you go to university and college, and I don't know that I would consider you a child if you're in university, and they're not allowed to do it in universities.
You're right.
They're taking the prayer rooms out.
Right. So a lot of things are happening. This isn't just as simple as, hey, we don't want you to wear a cross on your chest anymore when you're teaching.
You can't wear a hijab.
Anything that would show that you're affiliated with some kind of religious,
with a religion. Yes.
Right. And the turn of that coin would be like, okay, so if I wear an atheist shirt, is that now kind of also doing the same thing? Is that allowed? Anyway, that's for a
question for the courts, I think. Now for clarity, we should explain what the hell we're talking about. What is this bill? What does it do? What does it actually say?
Yeah, so maybe what we could do is just glance through some of this quickly, because
they actually have a copy of the bill. It's legalese, and I didn't understand a lot of it, so I'm relying on articles and such to explain it to my small mind. But I did appreciate the civil liberties breaking it down. Yeah, you'll see here, you go through the years that this has been going through the court system and everything.
Yeah.
and the different decisions. So back in 2019, it was passed, and it's making big news now because they've updated and changed the bill.
I
To
see. Okay.
yeah,
To include basically to even whittle down even further and target even more religious
yes,
expression, however that might
and
culminate itself.
there, there's a difference, I think, between wearing a cross to school, which Christians can just leave at home. They don't need that. But somebody who is Muslim and a woman, for example, why are
I'm,
we making them go against their religion to keep a job?
Mhm.
I'm like, so well, nuns really don't
Yeah.
work anyway. All they do is just be in a convict. So I guess
I mean,
they can wear
and
them when they teach. I guess then I'm trying to figure
and I
that
mean,
out.
yeah. I mean, even with the like wearing a cross example, you can tuck it into your shirt. Like it's
Yeah,
not that
True.
What
big
about
of a deal.
tattoos?
Yeah,
What about somebody who
exactly.
has a big old cross tattoo or even a freaking
oh
anchor
yeah,
tattoo because they were in the Navy, but that could also be a symbol of Poseidon. Do they need to
Yeah,
lop their freaking arm off?
I've
It,
got
Yeah,
the
like, how
cross tattoo
ridiculous
right
does this
here,
go?
and I'm not Christian.
Christians
exactly.
are upset about the no public prayer laws as well, from what I understand. Not as upset as I think Islamic groups would be. But the Christian's gonna Christian. They want to make themselves as
I mean,
relevant as they can, I suppose.
Do you think
if
that this might be like a backlash kind of thing? Like, I realize, Al and a few others in the chats have been saying that Quebec has been separatist and like aggressively anti everyone else for a while, or at least some elements within Quebec have been. But do you think there might be an element of this that is like Christian extremists deliberately steering this bill to go overboard to create a public backlash that will turn Quebec MAGA?
That could very well
mm,
be. I'm honestly more worried about Alberta going MAGA,
I mean, they're already
because of
there.
yeah,
I thought they was already there because I
right?
met people that was here, and they were
Yeah.
really strong about how mega they were.
Yeah.
Like they want to separate from the rest of Canada so they can have their own little division. I don't know. That was crazy conversation they had this summer. I
Um,
digress.
well, as we said, there's so many things that we have to really parse apart and think about
mhm.
when it comes to basically having to hide who you are as a person. Because as Ember pointed out, how many people do you I know tons of people who have religious tattoos, but they're not even a religious person. So would that mean now that they have to cover it everywhere, when they're working simply because it's a religious form of expression that they don't even participate in? Like, how
And
far will this be taken?
Yeah.
if it's a secularism issue, then what about symbols that are affiliated with multiple religions? For example, I've got a big old pentacle on my back, right?
Mm.
That could be Wiccan. It could be neo-pagan. It could be the Satanic Temple. It could be Christianity, because another name for that symbol is the Star of Solomon.
Ooh, just saying.
So what are we doing?
I do sure. I didn't think about the tattoo angle because I would think that some people might have bits of the Lord's Prayer tattooed on their forearms or something like that. Like
A
not
lot.
even the
And
yeah.
I mean,
even
technically, this
then,
makes me a member of the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster, because that, take what you can, is pirate talk. And as we know, pirates are the prophets of the FSM. So technically, all three of my tattoos are religious.
Yikes. You're in trouble. You're getting locked away, Ember.
I'm illegal in Florida, and now I'm illegal in Quebec. Damn it,
Oh,
can a girl
no.
get a break?
Nope. What were you saying, Lilith?
I was gonna say, and even then, what if somebody just wants to wear a scarf one day and wants to put their hair up in a scarf? Like,
I do it all the time.
I mean, that has no religion like attached to it. Are they going to tell them no, you can't do that?
Well, I guess that's how
Probably.
you put the scarf on. Because if I put it like in an African headdress, would that be
Yeah.
okay?
Probably,
there's
honestly,
also
probably not.
At what
And
point does it become religious? Like what I've seen
yeah,
pagan women start veiling now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Are they not going to be allowed to do that if they
but
go
and
to
there's
unless
also
I'm
a notable difference between something that is traditional and customary, like the veiling. That isn't necessarily religious; it's cultural. But
Mhm.
also, like Jewish people with the yarmulkes, right? Like that's not a matter of just cultural tradition. That's sacred practice, and that's a bit different. It's like, I don't know, outlawing Easter / Passover. Like don't make it a public thing, but saying people can't have it in their own homes. And I realize this is like government buildings and shit, but people have to have access to the things they consider sacred, even while they're existing in public life.
Mhm.
You know?
No,
Mhm.
I 100% agree. And like so chapter 3 right here, it talks about services with face uncovered, because
yeah.
we know that specifically it's going to be marginalized communities that likely have their face covered. And I'm not just talking about religious, I'm also talking about those who are immunocompromised, right?
Mhm.
So they will now not probably, they're going to be, that's intentional, to be targets of this law, because many people nowadays mask up. It's just common. They do it all day, every day for their, that's their choice to do. So does that now mean they'll not be able to work their job because they don't feel
Mhm.
comfortable now not being masked up, and it's seen as some kind of symbol of something when it's just about
Yeah,
health?
like
Well, I
Yeah.
guess
TLDR
putting a little
is
mask
this.
over your mouth is little, but you got the thing. I guess I don't know, but
I mean,
people always try to make excuses for laws and stuff.
Yeah.
To me, this seems to rise to the level of well, it's hard to call it discrimination because it doesn't discriminate. It says all of them are bad, but it is still singling out a characteristic which is protected
mhm.
under most human rights laws, including Canada's.
The charter. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's definitely oppression. I mean, the fact that they preemptively invoked the notwithstanding clause, which for anybody not vaguely familiar with Canadian law, is a section of the Constitution which lets provinces violate another section of the Constitution for a prescribed period of time. I believe it's usually 1 or 5 years. After that period of time, the province legislature has to vote to renew the notwithstanding status, or the law that isn't in compliance with the overall charter
Mhm.
gets knocked down because it's not in compliance with the overall charter. So there's actually a constitutional provision where they can pass laws that violate the Constitution, which is a neat trick, but also kind of evil. And to
Mhm.
preemptively invoke it before the bill even goes into effect is like saying, we know this is a violation of human rights. We're doing it anyway.
Mhm. It's especially evil to be doing these things in the name of protecting people, in the
Yes.
name of
Mhm.
freedom, because we know that's all just a very thin veneer of what's happening here. It's all just another means of control. And as much as I'm not a fan of wearing coverings or, wearing personal religious expression, at least at this point in my life, I'm not about trying to take it away from somebody else, because I don't give a MF
Mhm.
what they do in their
Yeah,
personal life.
yeah,
As long as they're
Yeah.
not telling me, as long as they're not telling my kids that this is what they have to follow when they're at school, I do not care what you do in your personal life. I think this is really weird, and you're not going to be protecting anybody. You're just privileging a very special group of
Mhm.
people and
Yeah.
making others outsiders. And I'm
yeah.
not
I
for
mean,
that. I feel like
Yeah.
it's being done to us currently,
mhm.
so I don't like that, but that doesn't mean I'm going to now stoop down to their level and do it to somebody else. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, this strikes me as one of those courage of your conviction moments. Like, do we actually mean the things we say about people
Mhm.
should be free to exist as who they
Yeah.
are and live their lives as they please? Or are we just using that as convenient rhetoric to protect ourselves? But when it comes to somebody else being oppressed, when things go the other way, are we willing to stand up, or are we going to be like the MAGA assholes and just be like, well, if it doesn't apply to me, I don't care?
Mhm.
Exactly.
I mean, Yeah, and one thing is, like, people who know me know that I am very anti-religion. I'm pretty anti-theist, but the one point that I have to continually make to people is I don't want to, like, force people to give up their religion. Prohibition doesn't work. It's never worked. It's not gonna work, especially on something like religion. And like, this is just kind of the start of that, saying you can't wear your religious garb outside, even though this is a deeply held belief. That's not going to swing anybody to accept your view on this ever. And forcing people to do something like this is not going to do that.
And what's the outcome here? Like, what are we talking about here? What happens? So what? Now Ember's my teacher, and at school I see Ember with her pagan whatever the hell rune on her chest. And now what do I do as a student? Who do I go to? Where am I going? Am I going to the police? Am I calling the police on freaking Ember?
Right.
You know, like who is the one who are the people who are going to get paid to now have to micromanage everybody's daily attire? Like, is that where we're going now? We need to check everybody before they go to the bathroom. Let me see between your legs. Let me see what you're wearing.
For that though.
Is your dress long enough? Is your dress too long?
Right.
Oh, if it covers your ankles, you might be a Quaker.
I think Quebec is going to see a great lull in teachers from specifically Sikh or Islamic faiths, and I suppose Jewish as well, because, like you said, the yarmulke.
And they wear the women. Some women wear head coverings in Judaism. Yep.
That's true.
There's I don't know how many there are up in Canada, but there's like Amish and
as well.
Those there are all have a particular dress that they are.
What about indigenous tribes who wear head coverings?
Lots of Mennonite folks. Definitely lots of Mennonite folks.
And it's important to note, the Mennonite dress is not religious. It's cultural because of their religious traditions, the make your own clothes thing that a lot of the Anabaptists still do. It's not the clothing itself is part of the religion. It's only indicative of the religion because of the practice of making your own clothing from the religion. So it's like 4 steps removed from the actual religion. It's not religious itself. They could wear any other clothing.
I feel like this is them going to say, oh, look, the atheists won. And meanwhile, we've got an entire show right now about how the atheists are also not happy. Thank you very much. Could you please not do that and let people have their liberties back?
Yeah,
it ain't me.
Because here's the thing. The laws that protect the religious to do the stuff that they want to do are the same damn laws that protect us. Those are the same ones that protect me from having to have religion forced in my face by the government.
Yeah, like having all these carve outs are just privileging. Like, I feel like what they're doing is they're really just making the same similar kind of carve outs that we're watching happening today in our government with groups like TPUSA, groups like Heritage Foundation. They're using a very similar type of rhetoric where they're saying, oh, look how we're being treated. You know, this student wrote a paper and she's being targeted because because she's a Christian. Look how horrible it is.
In a way, she's not wrong. It's just not the targeting it's being presented as.
You're right. She got graded because her paper was really terribly written, like a 5th grader. And I think there's even 5th graders who probably could have written that even better.
I wrote better as a 5th grader. I at least I could use citations in 5th grade. Fuck.
Well, and I'm sorry, I kind of like tangented or whatever you want to call that, segued maybe into something
People
else.
come here for the tangents. It's fine.
What I had talked about at the top of the show was this new Riley Gaines-esque woman, and her name is Samantha Fulnecke. She wrote a paper, and her TA, I believe her TA graded it, and she didn't grade it because it was a religious paper, and that's why she got a negative grade. She didn't follow the assignment. She didn't even quote her not resources.
References.
Thank you.
Like, even when she talked about the Bible says, she didn't cite a passage. She didn't cite the Bible. She just waved at it and said, the Bible says. and whether she got the things right or wrong, because we can't double check what section she's referring to because she didn't cite anything, doesn't matter, is it's not relevant. I have strong feelings about this, but the main thing is literally every channel on YouTube has put at least 2 hours of coverage into this subject. So by now, I think it's fair to say everyone knows what's going on. I hope the main thing about it seems to be, and I have too many things coming out of my mouth at the same time. Fighting for dominance.
At least they're not going in at the same time.
So Ryan basically laid it out. The student wrote a bad paper and then threw a fit about religious persecution. What seems to be the case, because other information has come to light. I mean, it's suspicious in the first place that a third-year college student can't write as well as a fifth grader. She's a pre-med, and she doesn't. It's beyond belief, right? So this was done intentional and possibly for political reasons, because it happens to be that the TA was trans, and it happens to be that her mother is an attorney for the January 6th insurrectionists, and it happens to be that Turning Point USA was looking for a trans instructor who they could target by way of religious oppression. And Forrest Velkai kind of mentioned this in his video on the subject yesterday. He covered it because he's from Oklahoma, where this nonsense is happening, when he pointed out that she brings up freedom of speech in her essay when that's not relevant to anything either in the article she's supposed to be responding to or what she's talking to in her essay. She just puts it on the table as if it's Chekhov's gun. She's hiding it in the closet for the third act. Right? And then the TA grades it like it has to be graded, goes out of her way to give constructive criticism, brings in the other instructor to give additional constructive criticism, but it doesn't matter because the point was political all along. They grade her like they have to grade her for an essay intentionally that bad, and then she runs right back to TPUSA and says, yep, we got the grade we shot for, and start the grift train. Because if Turning Point says something, Fox News is going to parrot it, and once Fox News parrots it, the entire fucking internet lights up. You know,
you're right.
I never returned in a paper unless it got reviewed. I showed it to somebody else to look over it. So you just turn people in without having anybody look at it.
Well, so I've been a TA that grades papers like this, and I also talked to my previous professor and 2 other people who were TAs who have read it. Every single one of us said it would have gotten a failing grade outright just because of the way it was written and no citations and all that stuff. Like, it was a horrible paper. And there is, I know people who have gone to OU and have said there is no way in hell she would still be in that sorority if she had been writing like this for the past 2.5 years. She did this on purpose. That's all there is to it.
Yeah,
she did this on purpose.
Yeah, what I had to do was somebody turn the paper and I would go proofread it, let them know the sites that's wrong, what needs to be corrected. You have time to turn it in. If you turn it in before the deadline, we can fix it and work on it and get it together so the final grade can be decent. But no.
Yeah. And that's probably what she did, though, Kelly. But she did that with intention, as Ember said. TPUSA has been looking for somebody. We know that's what TPUSA does. They target teachers. They target people and get them fired. They're basically like Israel's Canary Mission. They get recommendations from students, from whoever, and then they use that information to start these huge steamroller over people. Why not?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a blog person. It's what is it? The Present Age, it's called. And first there's a copy of the entire essay. It's only 4 pages because TPUSA.
Have you read it? Should we read it? Because it's actually really terrible.
Everyone has read it. We can, but I don't know. I feel like we're covering a lot of ground. Every other channel has already covered very extensively.
Please read it, you guys. I'm serious.
Please read. I can't read nothing.
You have to. Thank you.
But what I wanted to get to here is we do actually have the grading rubric, which was not initially released, and it's come out now. So there were 10 points for showing a clear tie to the assigned article. No, that didn't happen. 10 points for providing... Points. Yeah, 10 points for providing a thoughtful reaction rather than a summary. We didn't even get a fucking summary. She mentions the articles she's supposed to be engaging with twice. 2 sentences. That's it. And 5 points for clarity of writing. That is the only thing you could arguably assign a point for, because the sentences were almost all coherent sentences. But that's a pretty low standard. And depending on what you mean by clarity, like saying because God wants, because Bible says, because these people are demonic, like, is that what we mean by clarity of writing?
It was the fact that she didn't quote her resources. She did not even quote the Bible. She just took her opinion and made an opinion piece on how she feels about gender roles in society. That was all it was. It was just her dogmatic viewpoint of gender roles. It did nothing that was asked of it. And even even the TA gave her very good critical, instructions on how to fix the piece, on how it could have been made better. Like, you could have wrote this piece if you wanted to, but here's what you would have had to do. And instead of taking that information under her belt and constructive criticism and rewriting the paper, again, as intended, this just has been made a media circus.
And it seems to be the point. Okay, the TA was named Mel Kurth, and the other instructor was Megan Waldron. So they lose. They may have been shooting for discriminating against me because I'm a woman too, but since everyone involved is a woman,
not it.
That never happened. Yeah. Although it's worth noting that Fulnecki, when she went on her Fox News interview, she made a point of misgendering the instructor aggressively.
Oh, yeah. Of course. Oh, so typical.
Because the whole point is the culture war. That's it. That's what it's for.
It is culture war.
I do love the backlash, though, and this is something that a lot of channels haven't covered because they're so focused on being fucking outraged. Like, it drives me nuts because, like, Turning Point USA put out some bait to trigger the libs, and then the libs predictably got triggered. And nobody's looking at the bigger picture, focusing on what it means. They're just being triggered. And I'm like, fucking hell, why does it work every time? Anyway, the thing that I do love seeing is so many OU students have been like demanding refunds because their degrees are worthless now, and because nobody will take a degree from there seriously. It's a Bible college now, effectively. Whether it makes the transition or not, it's worth as much as a degree from a Bible college. Others are trying to transfer, and some students are out protesting. They're like, I want to turn in a math test where I say, 2 times 2 equals Jesus and get full points, What are we doing? Is this education?
I listened to her speak because because in my brain, I'm like, okay, is this how she writes all her papers? I would seriously be interested in seeing some of her other work, right? Has she earned the GPA that she has in order to stay in this sorority, whatever Kappa Gamma it is? I apologize. I don't remember what it was. Was this exactly what we've said and intentionally written poorly so that way she'd get a terrible grade so she could become this Riley Gaines-esque person? I think a lot of that remains to be seen, but I watched interviews of this girl just to see how she talks, and she talks more eloquently than I do. So I find it hard to believe that she really is this brainwashed.
Right.
But I really don't know you. I'm just telling you what I think. I really don't know. I don't have a sure opinion on that, but she doesn't seem as stupid as the paper was. Just saying.
I'm just looking at it like if that would have got to me, when it got to regular media, they actually read it. They should have got to the conclusion like this is bull. Why they didn't do that, I have no idea. Even if Turning Point tried to put him in that position, but something like us, we can read the paper and realize it was garbage. But why couldn't anybody else? They even had to report this. I don't know.
Well, how do they not see this as a participation trophy? That's what they say that we want.
About participation trophies. That's what it's always been about. You mentioned Riley Gaines earlier. Do you know what she does now? She works for the Riley Gaines Institute, which was paid for by, billionaire donors and shit. Her actual job is to run around and find people who forfeited matches because the other team has a trans player or something and hand them participation trophies. You're the real winner for being discriminatory. Exactly the same as they did when we were trying to integrate sports racially. A team with a black player. Oh, they have an unfair biological advantage. We have to protect the children. And people would forfeit. And then assholes exactly like Turning Point USA would run around and hand out participation trophies. You're the real winner for doing as you're told by the hateful assholes who want to control you.
It's what they say that we do, Ember. But meanwhile, who just got a participation trophy? Who did FIFA just give a peace award to? Donald Trump.
Chocolate.
Yeah, they're literally the people who are manufacturing the participation trophies.
We know that everything they say is projection, but it still never ceases to shock me the levels to which that projection actually obtains.
It's like are you just stupid or are you just being facetious, right? Like, is that just an act? Or are you really just this stupid? My brain needs to know. I'm confused. Dr. Kip.
Good morning.
She survived last night.
I made it home. Yeah, I know.
If you guys didn't know, last night Kelly was on Bad Science Sunday with Maya, who else was on there?
Dr. Kip.
Well, I know,
Dr. Kip was being substitute Weasel.
He was Weasel.
But who else? But there was somebody else on there last night.
Maya was there.
Not Dr. Weasel.
Oh, that Dr. Weasel. Okay, yeah. So good time. If you all aren't subscribed to Maya's channel, Bad Science Sunday, please go do that. And of course, if you're not subscribed to our dear Kelly here, Detroit Atheist Queen, do that as well. Sorry, guys.
Detroit Atheist Queen 24/7. It's super easy to remember Kelly's channel.
I will be on Bad Science Sunday on the 20th.
Oh, so the end of the month, basically.
Yes.
Yeah, on the 28th. I'll be on.
Okay.
It's actually my birthday. So
you said 28th?
That's be fun. Okay. The 28th? Yeah, I'll be on Bad Science
Happy early birthday.
So we will have to have a special.
Hell yeah.
I will be wanted on Friday.
The clip.
Yes.
Kip Davis has written no book.
I'm working, so I will be in a side chat while I'm working, showing you love. I might pay for a little super chat just so I can shout you out.
That is not the book that Dr. Kip did not write.
No, not at all.
Speaking of writing that was not done.
The audiobook version is coming soon, TM. I have it on good authority. Namely, the author said so.
And he said he didn't mind being on my measly channel either.
Oh, stop it. Don't say that measly. Stop that.
That's what Dr. Kip said. He didn't say that. I said that, but he said, I don't mind talking.
Did Dr. Kip call your channel measly?
I called my channel measly. He did not call my channel measly.
There we go. There is our queen. This is
you're here. The goddess of woke bitches.
The goddesses. She's the queen of the goddesses here. Maya. Bad Science Sunday.
So she's the queen of me and you then? Awesome. Because I'm the queen and you're the goddess.
You're the queen of the atheists. She's the queen of the goddesses. And I don't know what
the queen of
you.
Am I? Because you said you're the goddess.
We need to start out our pantheon here. So first of all, Jess is Empress of the Asteroid.
Yes.
Ruling an asteroid is what she does.
Duh.
Lilith is queen of the monsters. Kelly is the queen of Detroit. Ryan, you're a goddess. That's literally your handle.
It is my
Maya
handle.
is the queen of the goddesses, and
I'll bow down to Maya.
You're the
I'll
empress.
wash her
I'm
feet
just
if she
cute.
wants. I'll do more than that. Just saying.
You're the empress.
I took it there.
Maya's queen of the woke mob. That's right. That's right.
Mhm.
As you should be, as we like it.
Could I insert my little blurb about Friday for myself?
Blurb,
Yeah,
baby,
go ahead.
blurb.
Go ahead, baby.
I am hosting Truth Wanted. It'll be my first time taking phone calls from people.
Excuse me, ma'am. Upgrade.
And I'm nervous AF, but I think I'm going to be on with Objectively Dan.
Oh,
Apparently, I'll
you're gonna
find
be
out
fine.
today. But John or Kelly are also great as well. So I'm looking forward to it. Whoever I am paired with, and I don't know. I think I'm hoping we talk some pseudoscience and some fun things like that because the truth is wanted, guys.
We
It's
want
true.
the
It's
truth.
true. And
We are
it's
seeking truth.
I'm having
that's the
my
slogan. We want the truth. Oh
Well,
goodness. But yeah,
I'm
for
having my
anybody who isn't
interview on the
familiar, Truth Wanted is produced by the same group that produces the Atheist Experience, that the atheists community of Austin. I always get the Austin and the atheist reverse, but whatever. It's the ACA. It is an ACA show, but it's the only ACA show that isn't explicitly about religion. It's about any kind of superstition or woo-woo or cryptids or whatever you've got. They want the truth. So
Get down
call
to
with
the
your
get
stories
down.
of Bigfoot
Excited.
and aliens.
Yeah.
I'm nervous because I'm nervous for myself because I'm supposed to be on next month. So let's get us in this.
We'll be there to support you.
Just-
Do
just-
not worry. You will have your community behind you, and there's nothing you could ever do to be more embarrassed than some of the dumb stuff that I've done online. So, just remember that. Just anytime you feel embarrassed, just remember that
Hopefully
it's a
Jesse
very
Brian
the
probably
3,000
shown a
likes
nip
on the
accidentally, something weird like that. So it's all gravy, baby. You're gonna be fine.
Yeah. And especially if you're with Dan, because it's Dan's show and he's very, very good at it. He's smooth. He's got the transitions.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen him with other brand new hosts, right? Like people who've never been on a call-in show before. And he will go out of his way to like ask for your input on something from if you've been quiet for a while or whatever, and he'll guide you through it. It's I mean, I've never been on a show with Dan, but I've watched him in action and he's very smooth. So
Yeah.
yeah.
You're gonna do great. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So I was wondering, it's 9:45. Would you guys want to take a little break? And I've uploaded the video that I've been saying I was gonna make with people's dogs in it, video of people's dogs.
Well,
It's not
now that you
completely
mention
finished.
that,
Oh, good.
everyone's gonna go nuts. You know they want to see the dogs.
You wanna
know they
see
want to
the
see the
I got
dogs.
3
You
of them
guys
sitting
wanna
right
see the
here.
dog?
Kip's
It's
made a couple of sneaky appearances.
it's practically 100% finished. I want to go back in and put everybody's names and the dogs' names in it, but I just wanted something up because I've been promising it, and
Hold
I'll
on,
get to all that later.
Look at Treat. Let me look at Treat's comment.
What?
Kelly
Hold
said
on.
she has a family member dabbing in Mormonism. I do. Isn't just a former Mormon. I don't think you are you?
No, I'm former independent Baptist and a former pagan. I did consider becoming Mormon, so I did research it quite a bit. So I guess that's where my knowledge base comes from because I took that stuff very
Is that a kitten?
seriously back in the day. Hi, Kitty.
No.
This is
No.
Moya.
Adorable. Oh my goodness.
Oh, did you little baby?
distracts
Look at
me
those
sometimes.
eyes. Oh,
It looked like
so cute.
Salem off of
Yeah, it does.
Sabrina.
Void
Very
things
all
all
right.
look very similar. But I saw the eyes, and then I recognized that patch of void was actually a kitten.
Is Moya.
This is a question. I was Mormon.
I hope you're
Oh,
recovering. Resist
Well,
oppression.
yeah.
I mean,
I'm what
everybody
they
goes
call
through
a
this stuff.
never mo. I researched, but I never actually became a Mormon. I did some of the studying with the missionaries and stuff like that, but never got baptized or anything.
Thank goodness for that. Hallelujah for that.
You've been
All right, guys,
saved.
Your
let's
name
take
off
a
of
quick
it.
break. Let's take a quick break. And then when we come back, we can either switch conversation to something else or we can continue this Bill 21 slash secularism oppression style law, if you'd like. All right, you guys ready?
Let's hit it.
Let's hit it.
Sometimes I chill or hang out at the bar, but I never stay long or go very far. You could say I am lame or that I am fickle, but I'd rather be at home playing with my pickle. That's my dog, she's a big deal. That's my dog, let's keep it real. Don't take offense if I don't answer the phone. Instead I'm loving on my girl and giving her a bone. People call me a dud, like a busted missile, but I'd rather be in my bed, petting my pickle. That's my doggy, she's a big deal. That's my dog, let's keep it real. That's my dog, she's a big deal. That's my dog, let's keep it real. It's not that I don't like you or wanna hang out, but if I had to choose, never was there a doubt. If you need to feel good, in fact it might tickle, you should come to my house and wrestle with my pickle. That's my big deal. That's my dog, let's keep it real.
Yay for the doggy debut.
I love it. As you know, I'm a sucker for puns and come play with my pickle, and she's a big deal. I fucking love it.
I like it was like a little bit pervy, but it was only pervy because you put the perv in there. It wasn't actually pervy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. If you have your puppy and you would like to be in the video, I have so much of me that I would happily take out. I only did that because I didn't have enough footage. So if you want to add your puppies, you can send that to me. Find me on the Damn network on Discord. And then send it to me.
Or puppy parts.
I'd love to add you.
Hell yeah. We love our evolving videos. Especially when they highlight the puppos. Because we all know, at least here on the Damn channel, but to a greater extent, every channel in the community, people come here for the pets.
Yeah, they probably want us to pet our Jugs. Maybe, I don't know. There's probably some petting that we were.
I think people might keep hoping.
Oh gosh, that's so funny.
If we come here often, oh my goodness.
Oh, that was a good break. That was a good. I was
Back
running
to your commercial.
Hell yeah.
The comment for the commercial. It doesn't matter. I'm just here for the ride, and I will blend in whatever conversation that we have.
Foppy.
Oh no.
Foppy's in the wrong building, possibly. I always get nervous when I have to be new places. Am I in the right place? Am I doing the right thing? I really dislike that.
I just assume I'm in the wrong place and just go with it. It saves a lot of anxiety. I don't have to worry if I just accept the fact I'm probably in the wrong place.
Right-handed sis says the difference between dogs and cats. Look up to cats. Oh, dog. Excuse me. Hi, I can't speak. Dogs look up to us and think we are gods. Cats look down on us and know they are. I love cats. I just don't have a cat. So I would like to do a kitty cat
my
one
dogs
too.
I think my dogs just think I'm
take over the show.
He's gonna take over the
Just
show.
a cutie. Yeah, I love cats too. Before I moved, I had 3.
And we can talk. We can make a song about petting our pussies.
Oh my god. To be fair, I'm in. Let's do it.
I mean, if you put bad juju in there, that was on you. I just pussycat. You know, nothing wrong with petting.
No,
Yeah,
seriously,
get your mind up
video
together, y'all. This a
I
wholesome
will.
show.
Yeah.
What currency is that? All right, so
I
super chat from or else you will die 100 who sends 22 tries, whatever that is, but thank you. And says you're all cute. Also thank you. Length or width for pickle, choose one. I mean, are we talking about the dog pickle?
Yeah, dog. Yeah.
I hope not. I hope not.
We do have a lot of things with the same name around here. Like with Dr. Kip, for example, you have to specify if you mean the human-shaped one or the dog-shaped one.
This is true. This is true. We're not making a joke out
It's
of
a
this.
Turkish money.
Yep.
I just
Okay.
Googled
I
it.
literally
I'm
have
smart, I
the
Googled it.
Dr. Kip. They stop.
You know what? Oh, Fern, thank you.
Fern, yay! Our favorite, not any Mormon, any more men. I think that pun makes sense. Anyway, Fern sends $2. Thank you, Fern, and says cats greater than dogs. And also, Ember checked it. I will check the Discord.
Thank you, Fern.
That's an opinion.
And thank you to or else you will die. You know, when it comes to pickles, I know people. I don't know that it super matters to me. It like seriously, you just need to know how to use it because I've had larger and it wasn't really that great. Like I did my best, my part, but like, you know, just sometimes I don't do it if they don't know what they're doing. That's just me. I don't know about the rest of you. But anyway, we might have to say that for the OF.
The only Ferns?
That's exactly what I meant. The only ferns.
That's right. Yeah.
Answer for
I knew it. I knew it.
Well, I gave you my answer. You really just need to know what the hell you're doing, or at least try. Actually, you
Wait.
don't have to know what
Are
you're
you
doing,
a troll? Are you
but you
pay-
need
are
to
we-
at least
are you-
want to.
Are you a troll?
Hold on. So we asked, were we talking about like the cucumber pickle or the dog pickle, and you said a human one. So are we talking about like a pickle Rick kind of situation?
Because I don't know pickles being on the human anyway.
Human
I've never met a
famous.
human pickle.
Yeah.
Oh, Ollie fans. That's right. It's Ollie fans. My bad.
Right. Okay. I knew there was a term for it already.
Definitely not, Theo. We're not talking about Pickles the dog.
Ruth, yes, we are.
I don't
You
know.
would.
I'll just come right out and say most of the time dimensions are interchangeable and you can get away with length. This is what Fern sent me, by the way. In the Discord.
Yes.
Can I make this bigger? Can I make it fit the screen better?
What was the one?
Slightly.
There you go.
Maybe I can
Slightly. Yeah, that's
better.
yeah, and
That
that's
poor baby. Look at them. Just evil secularist stepping on this poor little baby's head. How horrible.
Yeah.
Cruelty.
and the best part is the age is about right for the kind of writing that they're producing, apparently. I actually think I did this as a child because, as many of you know, I grew up on a farm, so we had farm boots, and I don't know, you know how little kids try to eat everything? I also tried to put everything on every part of my body. Like I tried to wear a boot as a hat, and so I probably did something like this at some point.
Rainbow Ash, are you always talking about butts and boxes? And why? Because Weebro says boxes. What box does he mean? Or is he talking about this kind of box, or is he talking about this kind of box?
Little boxes.
I like that song.
Yeah, me too.
On a hillside.
On the show, they used to do a different version of that for almost every season, but at some point I feel like it was almost every episode as to which song that they would pick that it was like
Every episode. In one of the seasons, it was like every episode, I think.
Yeah, the third season they did covers. The first two, it was the same classic one, but the third season it was a different cover every show. I fucking loved it. I mean, I'm not a fan of that style of gardening. Maybe I will be someday, but I went from having a job where I couldn't to being very poor. So I'm just but I love the show, especially the music. When the movie Box Trolls came out, I took the kids to the movie Box Trolls, and now we occasionally have like cheese parties because of that movie. But that's neither here nor there. When the song started, because the song is in that movie too, Little Boxes, and I started singing along, and they're like, "How the fuck do you know that song?" And I'm like, "You're not old enough to ask that question."
Okay, so you guys, do you want to talk a little bit about, I mean, since we already have brought up Erica Kirk, and she is going on a town hall with Barry Weiss, and Barry Weiss is the new, what is she? She's
Head
the
of
new
CBS
something.
News.
CBS, that's right. And
now, background, Barry Weiss, for anybody who doesn't know, got her start with a right-wing funded organization called the Free Press. They claim to be centrist, but all their funding comes from billionaires like the Cox and the Heritages and the so forth. Their big story that put them on the fucking map was that nurse in St. Louis who blew the whistle on trans care that turned out to be completely full of shit and just straight up lying. But they made a story out of it, which started a whole segment of the anti-trans controversy, and that's what made the beginnings of Barry's career. She's been a, let's just call it what it is, a fake centrist right-wing grifter, because they're all fucking grifters, aren't they? But that's been her whole thing the entire time, is pretending I'm just asking questions. I'm just a normal person in the middle. I think both sides make good points. We after all, we shouldn't be like killing black people because they're black, but at the same time, maybe we should be putting people who are different into ovens. It's a reasonable position. I'm just saying, that kind of thing. And when CBS was kissing Trump's ring, they decided to make a sacrifice because Trump was still mad about the 60 Minutes thing. He'd sued for like $15 million or whatever. So to make amends, they made a gesture of replacing their entire news department with not right-wing people, but pretend centrists who are right-wing people, like Barry Weiss, the most recognizable name in that particular line of grift. I'm sure we can expect to see a few other people, like the regular gay guy who originally was a journalist. He might show up. Brad Palumbo, for those who don't know. There's so much history to all this assorted shit, but it's also worth noting Barry Weiss's first action as head of CBS was to immediately fire all the black people because she's a centrist.
Isn't that interesting? And where's all the hullabaloo about it? Why aren't people talking about that? If it was a bunch of white people that hadn't let go, people would have flipped their. Yeah, exactly.
It's the fire hose of nonsense.
100%. And what frustrates me is that this is like feminism for them. Like this is like their angle of feminism, and it really is just extremism. It's just in that alt-right pipeline.
I mean, I remember 2 years ago, 3 years ago, like the news cycle, like we would cover maybe 30 stories a week. Now we're doing well over 60 a week just because there's so much crap out there to try and keep up with. It's insane. Like,
every day I feel like there's at least 5 to 6 things that have just happened within the past day that I need to catch up on. Now, going back 3 years ago, like when I first started, I don't know, kind of opening my mind and realizing like, oh my goodness, I need to speak out. Like I can't just like be silent when bad things happen around the world. Like back then it was almost like, okay, there was a couple things in a week that I would focus on and make videos about. And now I feel so overwhelmed because I almost can't even make one video because I want to talk about 20 different things and I can't even stay focused on that one thing. This wasn't
like and that's part of the point too, is to exhaust you and make it impossible for you to push back on anything. There's instead of 4 walls closing in on you, there's 60. How can you even push back against one? You've got no leverage. The metaphors are fucking endless, but that's part of the point, is to exhaust the opposition. And remember, folks, what was it just last week we covered Netanyahu, who, even though there's some shit going on in Israel, it's still a sane enough country that the fact he took cigars and wine as bribes is a major controversy that could possibly topple his political reign. Like, that's what sane countries do when there's one thing that to us, not even a minor story. It doesn't even blip the damn radar.
I wish it was that
so
easy.
far off into the deep end.
Ours gets a fucking jet. And there's like hubbub about it for maybe a week, and everybody's forgotten about it.
Well,
They
they
got a $400
justified.
million jet that's going to cost over. Yeah.
They made apologetics and they moved on.
No.
Though I do want to say the video of Trump doing the Grinch grab of the fucking fake Temu peace medal, there's a caption on that running around saying, the moment Qatar realized they spent $399,975,000 too much. Like, they could have just given him a fucking piece of plastic on a string and been like, here you go, buddy. You're special.
It's the level of audacity.
Realize.
Well, hon, I'm sorry.
Oh, I said it's secretly chocolate. He's going to unwrap that thing at one point and then eat it, because he's Trump.
Because he's Trump.
And that reminds me of another thing. If you don't mind another semi-commercial so soon, there's every time FIFA gets mentioned, Trump feels the need to talk about something, and it's part of our apologist supercut. It's just shy of 3 minutes. Everybody cool with that?
It's fine.
All right.
I'll go get water.
Do the thing. Okay. Hey, and if you need water, tune into the next show because I'll do an ad for that over there.
Ember will tell you where you can get the best wet water.
Code Ember 15.
Your thirst, baby. Your thirst will be quenched.
Anyway, we'll get to that later. Here's Trump talking about FIFA, kind of, almost, but also other apologists being horrible.
I have a problem with this stuff being normalized across the spectrum, and specifically, like, why push this on kids? Why introduce this to kids?
I am a depraved wretch. I am a great sinner. I'm a worm, completely undeserving of any love or any grace. I'm nothing.
You're incapable of being a good person. You're an evil person. You're a terrible person. At the core fabric of who you are. That's why we need laws. We need laws because we're bad people. All of us are bad people.
You can't spell Pride Month without demon. PRIDEMONTH.
If we don't know who the women are, because there are just people, then we won't be able to pull the women up to equality with men.
We have to try to limit the harm. And that means reducing or keeping down the number of people who transition. And that's for two reasons. One of them is that every one of those people is a person who's been damaged. But the second one is every one of those people is basically, a huge problem to a sane world.
Transgenderism must be eradicated.
The LGBT, transgender, grooming our children's minds is a national security threat. We need to hold people for treason, start having some public hearings, and start executing people.
I will use whatever gives me victory. I don't care about the truth, and I don't care about the law. I care about one thing, the control.
But then they rigged the election, and now we won, so I'm going to be your president. Then what happened is they rigged the election, and I became president, so that was a good thing.
I agreed with many, many things you said during, in fact, probably more than most other candidates when you were running for president, but I still would not have voted for you because you're an Indian.
I just want to say I feel good about the Republican Party. I feel good about where we're going as a nation. We're killing all the right people and we're cutting your taxes.
It was actually a tremendous blessing to these children for them to be killed and go to heaven and be with God.
We've been hoodwinked. We've been taken in by an ideology crafted by creeps and then pushed on children.
Stop letting people pressure you into thinking.
I want to be ignorant, honestly.
Being a Christian doesn't exclude us from experiencing spiritual dryness.
We're bad people. All of us are bad people.
We're killing all the right people, guys.
We
It's a good
are.
country.
Every time I watch it, it's something I pick up. The lady was like, she was talking about how can we lift up women if we don't know who they are.
Yeah, that's turf philosophy. The underlying premise, that was a turf philosopher, if you will.
I see.
And
Okay.
her entire thing is women are inferior to men. It's biological essentialism. Women are weaker, women are dumber, women are slower, and that's why women need the help. But if everyone's equal, then we can't tell who's a woman and needs the help. It demonstrates both the circular madness she's got going on, but also the fundamental underlying view. Trans people are evil, gender ideology is evil, because it's morally good that women should be thought of as inferior, in need of protection from good, strong men.
As you know, can I just say, like, as a former JW, I had such a negative opinion of feminism and what it was because of just how I was raised. We saw like feminists as people who saw themselves better than men. They wanted special privileges over men, that it made women haughty, it made them less meek. They wouldn't listen to the head. All these really terrible, untrue things about what feminism is.
Well, in
So that's
fairness,
why
somewhat true. I don't want to listen to men because they're men. I want to listen to people who have good ideas, even if some of them happen to be men.
right. So, I carried that with me a large portion of my life, and it was it was very conflicting because in my mind I was like, I'm just the same as men. I'm capable. I can do all of these things. Like, why are they saying it's a difference? Why won't they allow me in these positions? Why won't they see me as equals? And meanwhile, I'm getting fed all these negative things about women and feminism. So in my head, I'm kind of seeing things that aren't there in many ways when it comes to like other women, right? Like I'm kind of imposing these preconceived notions that I've been fueled with from internalized misogyny the entirety of my life. So now, sorry, long story short, now I'm starting to see feminism as more as an equalizer, or I should say that's what I would wish feminism was, that it was an equalizer. It brings everybody to the table. We're not one person or not one group is above anybody, but we all should see ourselves as partners in this, in this world that we're trying to take care of. So to see women, I should say, especially and specifically like Erica Kirk, Riley Gaines, Samantha Fucknecky, dismantle feminism, and they're painting feminism practically almost the same way Jehovah's Witnesses would paint it. This is what a woman is. This is how a woman should be. And I'm finally getting my bearings as a woman, like finally at 50 freaking years old, practically. And now I have to watch these young women try to break it all down, screw it all up. And it's very frustrating. It's just super frustrating to feel like we're now regressing again.
Well, that's intentional. That's first of all, they misrepresent the whole thing the same way they misrepresent evolution, and like all the conspiracy theories are the same conspiracy theory, and they're for the same reason: to control you, to control your lives. And the anti-feminist movement is just the most blatant about it. That's the point. That's why all the regressive cultures view feminism in that same false way. But also, this month we've been covering secular achievements on Hot Topic, the show that follows this one every weekday at 11 a.m. at my place, Better Than Ember channel. And Friday's show, our Feminist Friday, was about feminism, because that's a great secular achievement. It goes back a lot farther than you might think. And the humanist worldview that most of us seem to be moving towards, if not expressly espousing now, like we're in this community, we're more humanist than necessarily atheist, like we were just talking about with the Quebec bill. It's not that we want religion banned, it's we want everyone to have autonomy over their own lives.
Mm-hmm.
Want for us. That's rooted in feminism. That's the point of feminism, is everyone should have autonomy over their own lives. You shouldn't need a man to sign off so you can have a bank account or to own property. You shouldn't have to rely on a husband to vote for you. You should have the right to control your own reproductive system, etc. It's all the same thing. It's one piece.
Agreed.
I don't
100%.
understand. Because it's like, you see, like, guys like on the YouTubes and the videos, and they're like, what is wrong? I understand what is wrong with the woman who don't want to stay home and take care of her man, don't have no friends, don't work. What is wrong with that? And that's
Well,
their thought process.
Well, Erica Kirk and her crew, like, feminism for them is still being under the headship of a man.
Well, that's
And,
the thing that they don't seem to get is feminism says if that's how you want to live, you can do that. No one will stop
Exactly.
you. The point is you have the choice rather than culture forcing it on you. And that's one of the reasons they get so bent out of shape about trans people, because they have this underlying bioessentialist view that women are inferior to men. And so a woman, you can see it in every fucking comment they leave about when they recognize trans men exist. They say a female trying to become a man, trying to escape womanhood is how they usually frame it. It's understandable, even if they don't believe it's really possible. But a trans woman,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't compute to them that a person that they perceive as having these superior natural advantage, yada, yada, degrading themselves. It must be a perversion. That's the only thing that makes sense.
Yep, exactly. And like Maya, a huge movement by a few bad actors. If we're not talking equality, we're talking bigotry. Women can be lying bigots. And my problem is with these women is I want them to have their ability to speak their truth, if that's their truth. But they are trying to make movements where they bring us all into their truth, right? Like, we're under their control. We're no better being under their control than we were under the patriarchy. Like, to me, there's no difference. It's this white woman feminism where it's only for a very specific few people that will be privileged. The rest
Right,
of us,
and it's not
and
feminist.
especially like marginalized people, obviously they're going to be the ones who feel it mostly. But I God damn, the way they easily get so platformed. I'm like, what has Erica Kirk done but speak hypocrisy into the world, talking about how women should be at home and be soft and feminine, and meanwhile she has this whole career.
She's contradicting.
Where's your kids? And I don't say that to people because you don't say that to people, but I want to say that to her because who are you and what you're saying? It's just hypocrisy.
Right. Well, that's why, like, we can't counter every one of these assholes all the time, which is why we advocate for critical thinking so people can tell for themselves. As Maya points out, the onus is on us to show their lying grifters. Like, people, we want people to be educated sufficiently they can see for themselves that this shit is not only wrong, but harmful. There's that whole false dichotomy that the Christians promote that we're constantly hammering on about, that you either must be a slave to God or a slave to a mortal human ruler, but you have to be a slave. We reject that dichotomy. Fundamentally, it's not true, and we can show it's not true. But they rely on that to try to make you obey them. Do as I say because I'm speaking for God. The alternative is error, sin, corruption, and eventually eternal torment. Like, it couldn't be more blatantly manipulative.
Well,
and yet they catch people.
Women should be in this specific gender role because the Bible says so, and will be happier because the Bible says so. Says who? Says you. If that makes you happy, girlfriend, go for it. go bananas on it if you want to. I don't care. You can bend at the knee, you can get on your knees, you can kiss their feet for all I care, if that is what you choose to do with your life. But how dare you put me in a predicament, in a situation where I have to do the same, because to you that's feminism. Get the F out of here.
Yeah, that's the opposite. It's anti-feminism. It's as Maya said, it's fucking bigotry. I also want to call your attention to this book that friend of the community Miranda sent me a little while back, and I had occasion to read a bunch of it this weekend because some very bad stuff happened that involved me waiting in a place for a long period of time. And so I haven't quite finished the book, but we're pretty damn close. The basis of the story, and first of all, this author just won a major world fantasy award. They are very, very good. And it's an interesting story. It takes place in a desert where there's a tribe of people who have the power to harness some of the magical elements of the world. Like there's you can weave the wind and create a cloth of change. And because they have the ability to weave a cloth of change, you can put on the cloth of change and then you change. And so they have people who've woven a cloth and changed from childhood. And then they have other people who come to their community and get a cloth from one of their weavers and go through the change. And then they have in between people. And it's fascinating because it paints a picture of this culture where, because they have the ability to just change gender, it's completely normal. It's just an accepted thing, and it could be that way, you know? And it explores themes having to do with that and surrounding cultures that don't have that. There's more to it. There's as you can tell from the title, there's 4 different things they can weave, and the cloth of change is just the first one. But it's really fascinating. One of the 2 main characters is a trans man who's felt that way his entire life, but he was trapped because at first his culture told him it wasn't possible. And then when he did find out it was possible, he was already in a relationship with people who were like, I love you because you're a woman, please don't change. So he had to wait for them to die off. So he's like later in life when he finally does the change, but he does the change. But now that he's done the change, he needs a name. So he's got to go on a quest for like the sacred namer person thing. I'm summarizing, but for brevity. And then another character is going to come with him because she's looking for the same person. And he's like, well, you wouldn't understand because you haven't gone through the change. And she's like, I did actually when I was 7 years old. Fuck you, you know, because it's so normal. Like no one ever made a big deal of the fact that she was a trans woman because she'd been that way her entire life. And it's completely normal in this culture.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. I think what the issue, well, not I think, the issue is with the Christian nationalists is that they see themselves as starting to become part of the minority. They see, what I'm saying is they see that opinions are changing. They see that women like us exist, that we don't see feminism through that same 19 whatever suffrages type lens. We see women as equals, no matter the who, the what, the when, the where, the why, end of. And they realize that this country is becoming more, there's more immigrants here. There are different cultures here. It's not the culture that they want of just this, I don't know, whitewashed Christian history that they love to brag about and celebrate in Thanksgiving. I think they're feeling as though they're watching their side go on the downward. They're not going to be at some point, it's not now, but at some point they won't be the majority. And they don't want that to happen. So it's like the ugly snake popping its head back up for that one last fight, like that final breath, like they're the final push. Because
I wish.
I think that humanity is growing, and yes, there's many things that are getting worse, but I think there's a lot of good things nowadays that connect us as a whole, you know, as a united front. And that will eventually win out. It's not going to be easy by any means, but they know it. They know that Christianity is dying. They've seen the surveys. They know that's what's happening. That's why they have to. They've said as much. That Israel's come right out and said they have to push for social media. They have to push for news outlets. They have to push across all outlets that they can. As similarly, Trump is making sure that he's taking care of all news networks here, so that way there's only one common theme coming across. It's a pressure cooker, I understand, but there's many losses happening on Trump's side. I don't think that we talk about it enough, but he's losing a lot of battles. While he's winning a lot, many people are being hurt. They're being drug out of this country illegally. We're harming US citizens as well. But I know, long story short, that's how I feel. I feel that they see it. They're seeing to the future. The fortune teller says the signs aren't looking good for you, Christians. And so the fight is on. The fight is on. But I don't think that they will win out in the long run.
No, they can't, because their ideology, their entire worldview is inherently self-contradictory. And even the people who've turned off their critical thinking and convinced themselves to be cultists, the leopards are eating the faces. The leopards are having a fucking buffet, and people can only get so far before their face is devoured and still think this is a good idea. Like they're seeing over and over and over the things we've been warning them about this entire time are actually coming true. It turns out we're not brainwashed cultists. They are. And that's hard for them to admit. They have to have their face eaten off of them before many of them get it. But they are getting it. They're losing their health insurance. They're losing their farms. They're losing their workers. They're losing their livelihoods. And they're suffering. And I hate that. But they literally asked for it. And we can't stop all of them from suffering the consequences of their own actions, as much as we may or may not want to. We got to go through this hard time together.
I might be wrong to think that, but you trying to hurt other people, and so now you're getting hurt back. It's justice to me. You heard it, that's how I feel about it. Like, these people, immigrants, black people, trans people, we ain't doing nothing but living our lives, ain't bothering nobody. Majority of us, there's a few here and there that's corrupt, and then you trying to come in and mess with us because we don't fit your norm. So then things are happening to you. You deserve it. Shouldn't have bothered us. And we're not even the ones that are paying. We're not even the ones that are retaliating. It's your own people that's doing it to you, and that's really what's funny to me.
Like, Christians.
I don't know.
Christians, they like to cry victim, and I think that's just because it's in their faith. It's in they see themselves as Jesus. And what was Jesus' whole spiel? His spiel was that he was persecuted, right? So they see themselves as that victim, and they're just going to perpetuate that attitude in everything that they do. I mean, I don't even know that it's a conscious thing. It's like a subconscious driven, this is what I've been told that is what's going to happen. They want to see it everywhere. It's like, the self prophecy, the
self-fulfilling prophecies. Yeah.
Thank you. That's the word. They're manifesting their own destiny. And it's not because they're actual victims. It's just because, like, this Samantha Folnecki girl.
Yeah, there's a lot of grifters.
Right. She wants to grift by pretending that she is this victim. They're like, they don't even realize that they are the Christian nationalist DEI. The Bible is DEIA for white people. It gives them all of the privilege. It gives men all of the privilege. And while, on the other hand, actual diversity, inclusion, equity, accessibility, they see that as oppression, because, again, they're the victims, because it doesn't give them privilege.
Have you seen the video? You I know you do some on TikTok. Have you seen the DoorDash girl?
I'm not sure.
Doesn't ring a bell? Oh,
Well, I've
curses.
seen
I
a bunch of crap, so I've
Okay. So there's a back in October, this DoorDash driver who happens to live in my city, she went and did a delivery, and she posted a TikTok where she in her video, the front door was open, and she poked her head in with her phone and saw there was a dude like passed out, basically naked on his couch. And she was like, whoa, that's fucked up. And that was her first video. And TikTok pinged her for it because she's showing a naked person uncensored on her video, you know? And then she comes back a few days later. She's like, guys, I was sexually assaulted by this man. And him being naked in front of me was a sexual assault. It was a crime. I am the victim. And DoorDash fired her because she posted a naked video of one of their customers against his will. It's a whole thing, and it kept escalating and kept escalating, and finally she was on the verge of losing her TikTok because she'd gotten several strikes. She'd been fired from DoorDash, and like everything was coming down on her head for what she had done. And she became super famous because she posted this video screeching, "I'm the victim, I'm the victim." And it's wild. Well, she was in court the other day, and suffice it to say, the whole "I'm the victim" thing, that's a whole culture in Red Hat America. It's, I came to your house, I peeked into your room. There's evidence, potentially, that she actually let herself into that customer's house before she started filming, and found him passed out and undressed him so she could make the video, which would, if true, that would mean she actually sexually assaulted him. But whatever, that's the right-wing mentality, is
But
I'm
why
going
are
to
you
say
messing
the
with
thing
somebody's
so I can
daughter?
be offended, and Turning Point USA will give me participation trophies, and Heritage Foundation will give me hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it'll be my career. I will help in the oppression of everyone else by being the victim, as long as I get paid to do it.
But why are you messing with somebody's door? Because it was open and not. I ain't going in to mess somebody's door.
I wouldn't. That's for
Guess what
sure.
I'm
Some way
saying.
to
So
be a victim.
you messing with somebody's door. That's in itself is wrong. Because I could be passed on naked in my house if I want to be passed on naked in my house.
I didn't know you were supposed. I mean, aren't some people don't even answer the door? Don't you just like let them know you're there and you set it down?
I don't think you're even supposed to go inside. Like, at all.
No, you're absolutely
Yeah.
not.
So-
In most cases, DoorDash, you have instructions to just leave the order at the door, maybe ring the doorbell, maybe knock, maybe send it, whatever the case may be. But it's the handoff occurs at the door, right? Like some people will open the door and take their food. They will meet you, but you're not supposed to enter. It's in the rules. You're specifically never supposed to do that because it's a huge liability issue. You know, in some states, people can shoot you in the face if you walk into their house. No, do not do that ever. You know? And she just lets herself in. It's wild. But the reason I mention it, that isn't a normal story that we would cover here on Java and Jugs, even though it's topical, is because it shows that some people are on the lookout for ways they can present themselves as a victim in order to make it a career. Riley Gaines has made it so lucrative that people are looking for opportunities to make that their job, you know?
I hope this ends badly. I hope that they don't continue to get these little ignites, little 15 minutes of fame that leads into something more, what's the word? No. Anyway, better for them, where they get to have podcasts or, write a book and it goes on the bestseller. I just don't want opportunities for them. I'm worried that because they have such fuel over what happened to Charlie Kirk, that there is this wave of new age like Christianity. Like I know it's Christian nationalism, but I feel like it's bringing people back into Christianity who maybe had just kind of, fallen off the wagon, maybe just weren't that into it. And now it's kind of bringing them in. And if they're not aware, they'll fall easily into that alt-right trap. If you get my drift. No, not at all, Rainbow. We love you. No worries.
A lot of us share too much. It's sort of becoming my thing.
It happens. What are you gonna do?
I mean, well, it's a matter of goals. Like, Maya has recently been reminding people that we have to be careful about our privacy. We have to be careful not to accidentally dox ourselves or our friends. And yeah, she's absolutely right. Because I don't want to get into a whole dramatic side tangent. Suffice it to say, I have firsthand knowledge that there are people who will find you and they will hurt you. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Be careful on the fucking internet. More careful than me, at least. But sharing personal experience is part of how we process the stories we report on. Is saying, here is why this thing is bad.
Well, they say things like, they're trying to regulate our faith, or they're trying to tell us how we're allowed to worship, or, they're acting as if, playing the victim, that we are the ones trying to influence their beliefs and influence their relationship with God. I don't really give a crap about your relationship with God. I'm just telling you. But they are actually the ones, like it's that whole projection thing. They're the ones who are trying to erase our identities, our expression, trying to make this white culture, this white Christian nationalism, the culture of our country, which is basically just intolerance. It's erasure, because it will eventually be the dominant system around here. And the fact that women are the ones upholding this, and they don't think that they'll be the ones whose faces get eaten, they don't think that the knife is going to turn on them. And not only will the knife turn on them, they're going to do surgery on them. Just like MTG is finding out, right? She effed A and she effed O'd. She's now realizing that most of these Republican dudes ain't ish. How did you not see this? Like, how did you not know that?
To
It is
be
embarrassing.
an absolute buffoon your entire career, and only now, at the moment where you almost achieved victory about the one thing you ever actually cared about, the victims in this case, only now realizing you've been a useful idiot the entire time. I almost feel bad for her. Almost.
I like that saying, useful idiot, because you are just a pawn. You are just allowing yourself to be used as a pawn, because it's going to make you money. It's going to get you somewhere. Like Samantha Fulnicki knows that her paper was bogus, that it was bunk, and they can straight up lie to people like it's NBD, because the end goal, right? Like Christians who don't lie and they're supposed to tell the truth, they don't care, because the end goal is just to make sure that they sustain their position in this country, their privilege.
And almost a very similar thing happened a few months ago. Dan McClellan actually did a really good video on it, where this one girl saw in there that was saying like identity is problematic, or it's a problematic term because of X, Y, and Z, and these things are it can be, and these things have been labeled with identity. And one of them was Christian, talking about Christian identity, the white supremacist group. She blows up, does this whole thing about they're calling me white supremacist because I'm Christian. Within a day, both the dean and her professor sent her an email saying, no, this is what it's referring to. It's referring to Christian identity, the white supremacist group in the US. a month later, and she had put out like 2 or 3 TikToks saying like, okay, I understand I was wrong about this, blah, blah, blah. A month later, Fox News has her on, and they go through the whole spiel again like it was, they were talking about all Christians and not this specific white supremacy group called Christian Identity. Like, it was just like, they are so fucking dishonest.
Yeah, the appropriation. They're claiming all Christianity because, as we keep saying, they want to use it as a shield. This is why Christians need to be on our side in this, even though many of us are atheists, because we all agree in humans deserve human rights. And these assholes running around saying we're doing the opposite of everything Jesus said. You need to protect us from the woke mob because religion. They're just using you, the religious people, as a shield, as a smokescreen. They're stabbing you in the back while you're holding up the wall to protect them.
Yep. They're pretending, right? Like that they're protecting them and they're protecting freedom and our choices in this country, but it's not. It's actually restriction. It's actually only protections if you fit into this one little subgroup, into this category. And if not, you're effed in the B, for lack of better terms. You will not be able to express yourself, but they can. You will not be able to exist in your true self, but they will. Even if that means that they're a-hole, that's fine and dandy, not a problem, even if it means hurting people. But if I'm gay and I want to be out with my wife, that's going to be a problem. It's their ideas are phony.
Like,
it's just phony.
My
It's
group
phony.
should be exempt. Well, they get all bigoted up and down. There's a lot of intersectionality here. I would like to introduce y'all, well, some of you may know them already, to a TikTok creator called V-Bars, who is very intersectional and lays out why a lot of this is a problem. This video is like a little bit shorter than 3 minutes, but it's not a proper upload, so we can actually pause it. So do feel free to pipe up as we go along here if you got something to say. They're also, I should point out, they're non-binary. They're a they/them person, just to be clear.
I try not to tussle with transphobic Black folks because a lot of y'all don't understand that you're not spiritual. You're just a bigot, right? You don't have values. You just got a bunch of prejudice, right? And that's on purpose. Like Jasmine said during that Deontay Cow, Jesus is in the way discourse. A lot of y'all are illiterate. And I don't say that to be insulting. That's historical. Illiteracy and religion have been tactics that have gone hand in hand, going all the way back to chattel slavery, right? And part of what illiteracy and religion was often used to do was rebrand the brutality of chattel slavery. It was a way for them to convince themselves that they were still good people while doing the hateful, prejudiced, brutal things that they were doing, right? And the excuse that they used for it was science and religion. The same way use science and religion as an excuse for transphobia. And the science that y'all are always throwing around is what you are taught in 5th and 6th grade about chromosomes. Idiocy. Y'all are literally operating with a 5th and 6th grade education level of biology. I think you know something. But that's by design. Y'all don't realize that y'all supporting transphobia means that y'all still support white supremacy overall. So you're advocating for your own discrimination by advocating for discrimination against trans people, and y'all don't even realize it. That's why one of the most popular Black cis woman mukbangers on this app was just on here saying, yeah, scan their body parts to let them in the bathroom. And then had to turn around and be like, yeah, guys, I didn't think about that because your body parts would be scanned, ma'am. What do you mean? Y'all.
First of all, I love that fucking laugh. They're just out there. But also, fact after fact after fact, they're on fucking fire. But also, that's the thing people don't have to realize is every piece of bullshit legislation they put up there, whether they back it with this 6th grade science or religious right or whatever the fuck they're trying to justify it with, it applies to you too, bestie. It's going to affect you. It's going to affect your daughters and your sisters and your wives. they're going to have to get their genitals scanned to use the fucking toilet. Duh.
Seriously think that they're gonna do all of these things to discriminate against trans people and not your black ass. That's why the Olympics said, okay, we'll test cis women and trans women for testosterone. And anybody who testosterone levels don't meet our requirements getting disqualified. Because what you thought? You were actually going to have power over somebody else? No, you might get a little bit of privilege. You may feel a little bit more socially accepted than me, but you'll never not be free of discrimination, especially as long as you continue to perpetuate it and support it when it's not you. I can't go.
Everything.
That's the thing.
Yeah, I've been saying that myself for a long time. Just like doing the Black Lives Matter marches and stuff, they were attacking the trans, a fellow black.
Yeah, like don't do that. Don't do that.
We're fighting for the same reason.
Yeah,
that's how they did it the first time.
This flag is intentionally inclusive. Like there's trans women that I know who've been activists, humanist activists, feminist activists for decades, and they're like, well, I don't like this because, I mean, why is the brown stripe there? It's not the same fight. It is the same fight.
Yeah.
It's the same oppressors making
together.
the same arguments.
Yes.
Holy shit.
The same book.
And I mean, this goes all the way back to it goes all the way back to even just feminism, because it's like, if you are in any way a minority in this country, which usually means you're a woman, or you're not the majority religion, or what race you are, or any of this stuff, like, it's all the same damn fight. We all have to get in there and fight for each other. Like,
I can't believe it's controversial. In the 20th century, I couldn't believe it's controversial that saying all humans deserve human rights gets any pushback. How does anyone graduate fucking kindergarten and not see this as obvious? Even a turtle in the classroom with an IQ of 7 could see how obvious this is.
Well, what they said was true. I've been operating on a 5th grade biology level. I'm still very illiterate when it comes to biology. I'm doing my best to catch up, so that way if I get into a conversation, I can have some very, at least, basic answers for that. But at the end of the day, my answer is mind your fucking business. Like, when it gets down to the gets down, I'll just be like, well, why don't you show me what's in your pants? Why don't you let me come watch you fuck your wife? Like, that's what I will say to people straight up. So, but I do want to be able to have those conversations where if somebody is interested and they're curious, I'd like to have some answers. And why is it that grown-ups, that adults are afraid to learn about science, to understand the truth? Why wouldn't you want to know? If you're going to have a family, you don't want to know the possibility of the outcome for your child. You want to go like this. You think it'll be better to have blinders and just guess if it does happen and cross that bridge then? No, how about do the research now? Like, if you're going to get a pet, do the research before you get the pet so you can be a good pet owner. If you're going to have a baby because you think that's what your God's commanding you to do, then why don't you do the research before you have a baby?
We can't really discuss this too deeply, but then I'm also hearing about how they're trying to take away the rights in the prisons, where put men and that's like, are you serious?
Maybe we should. Maybe next week we can bring that up,
Kelly. Like, well, they shouldn't go to jail. Whatever.
Let's try to, like, since we're doing like main topic and then doing some like other little minor hot topics, I think we should bring that up, because that's seriously concerning about how they're going to try to like change the prison system. Yeah. So we'll put that on.
It also feeds into some other relevant things, like recently, Helen Weberly. I'm so bad with keeping my famous people straight, and she's famous. She's more infamous than famous, but that's a whole other topic for another time. She's been doing debates with TERFs. She's the head or the original founder of Gender GP, which is in the UK it's an alternative to the NHS because the NHS doesn't offer gender services in a reasonable time frame. The waiting list is years and years and years long. So this Helen started Gender GP as an alternative healthcare provider and became very controversial for it. But she's also an advocate of trans rights, which is to say human rights, because that's all trans rights are, is human rights for all humans applied to this one specific group with regards to them being oppressed. But whatever. She did a debate with Julie Bindel. I mean, she's been doing a bunch, but with Julie Bindel in particular, Julie Bindel brought up the topic of rape, specifically rape in prisons. But when Helen pointed out that men are also the victims of sexual assault, often from other men, but still, Julie was like, no. I'm talking about legal rape, in which case it has to be a penis and it has to penetrate a vagina. If those two factors aren't met, it's not rape. And this is the bullshit we're looking at, is we've got these advocates who claim they're out there protecting women who are straight up advocating for sexual assault, as long as it's sodomy, as long as the guy who attacks you sticks it in your bum, then it's fine, actually.
So what if a guy does that to a woman? He does that route too. He doesn't penetrate her that, no vagina. Would that still consider rape?
They're trying to normalize deviant behavior, and they say that we're the ones trying to normalize. No, we're not normalizing harming people. Sorry, not sorry. Gosh,
definitely.
And it's worth it to bring up that they are also the ones that are fighting to keep the child marriage laws on the books.
Oh, that's a whole other topic. But
yeah.
It bears
I'm
repeating.
sorry, I didn't
Every
mean to
video is
put
someone's
that out
first
at the
video,
end
and
like
it
this.
bears repeating that 42 U.S. states still allow child marriage. Some of them with no minimum age. No minimum age. And the reason 42 states continue to allow child marriage is because every single time progressives and Democrats propose banning it, making it so a person has to be legally of the age of consent in that state, which in some states is 16, but saying you have to be at least 16 to get married, the Republicans, it's always, every single time, the Republicans stand up and say, that infringes on my religion. That's what they're doing. That's the shield of religion. There's nothing in the Bible saying you have to boink children. That's not a religious obligation.
No.
They're using the religion as a shield for their predatory behaviors. And y'all are pointing at other people going, oh, it's the lesbians, they're grooming the children. Oh, it's the drag queens, they're grooming the children. Bitch, it's the youth pastors. I'm going to steal a joke I heard from a comedian named Titus. He said, if you go to Cell Block D and you do a census of all of the people who are in there for diddling kiddlies, you're going to find 0 drag queens. But you're going to find so many youth pastors. They have their own softball league. Do the math on that on your own.
He's one of my favorites, so yeah.
I have never heard of them.
Christopher Tyus, he's awesome. He's hilarious.
Sounds kind of familiar. Well, we're at practically.
You gonna plug your stuff?
We might as well start to wrap up the show since we've only got about 8 minutes left. And if you all did not know, if you're new here, our lovely Ember will be on next with Hot Topics, and likely with our beautiful other lovely guests here, Lilith, and maybe even Kelly.
Not today.
Yes. So why don't
we tomorrow though?
Why don't you guys tell us what you have coming up, if anything, and also maybe like a final comment about the overall theme today, because the overall theme was basically like extremism, and there's 2 coins to it, right? Like this secularism bill, which really just marginalizes religious people, which is something that I don't want to see happen. But we also see here in America, religious people trying to give themselves protection, which will marginalize us.
Yeah.
Non-believers and others.
It's important to note, and I'll do my outro first because I got to go over and get stuff set up
why
for
don't you do that?
The next show. So yeah, on Hot Topic, we're doing Atheist Advent this month. It's super fun. Like we did the history of feminism, we're doing the history of critical thinking and logic today because we're talking about secular accomplishments as we lead up to the holidays. We also are doing some random geology. So I hope you join us for that. That's coming up next. And every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern time over at my place, better than ever. Final thoughts. There is extremism on both sides, and it is dangerous, but they are not equal. There is a big fucking difference between telling people you can't wear your crucifix in this freaking courtroom or whatever, and telling people you have to allow your child to be mutilated because my religion says so and married off to a predator at 8 years old. Like, these are not even close to the same. So please don't think both sides are bad.
No.
There's one side that's crossing a line, and we're not going to let them get away with that. But the other side is nothing but harm for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Thank you, Ember. We'll see you on the stream next. Make sure you're following Better Than Ember, as you see at the there. Lilith, would you like to go next? Is that cool? Or... Oh, you're muted, babe.
I'm usually on Hot Topics, and I sometimes do streams early in the morning before the damn show, so just keep an eye out for that.
And what about, do you have any final comment about, because I think Ember's point is great, which I didn't say, so I think it's really, I want to just say I echo that these are not the same.
Here, yeah.
Right, they're extreme, but
one's bad. Yeah, like we don't want to be like banning people from doing, like, wearing what they want to,
who they are, right?
But but when they start trying to force us to follow the rules of their religion dictates what they can and can't do, not what we can and can't do.
Exactly.
Like, they need
100%.
to give it. Yeah, they need to go fuck off.
All the way, please.
All the
You
way.
can
All the way
F off, and find another way. Find something else to do with your life. Why don't you just mind what's in your pants?
They've controlled the narrative for so long, so they think they are supposed to control the narrative, and we're taking over now.
Right. This is pretty much typical, straight from the book kind of style program. We're used to it. We know the system that they've set up, and they're just finding another way to spin this feminism ideology. They're using women against us, and that really bothers me. Kelly, did you have anything else you wanted to say, or coming up? You want to?
Yeah, I'll say something. Yeah. So, like, as Lil, I'm always in Hot Topics all the time. You can catch me Monday here, and on my own channel, I am having two things. So Friday, Joe, the Kentucky Atheist, will be on my show, and that's my secular activism unfiltered. And I'm also started something new called Alternative Faith Discussions. And I talk to those who've walked away from religion in a sense, but they're still like pagan Wiccan or something like that. So if you know anybody that's a part of that, send them my way so I can set up interviews. And that's it. And me and Lil, hopefully we can work together, because we've been plotting and planning to set up things to do something on a regular together.
I love that for you guys. So make sure you
and
all
I need
support.
you on my show too.
Just let me know. We can talk about it. I'm happy to. I would love to support. Absolutely. And I'd love to have a one-on-one conversation, because we really haven't had a chance to do that. So
yeah.
All right, you all. I would like to say thank you to Or Else You Will Die for all the love and support here, as well as our little Fern Love Bond. Thank you. And again, to Or Else You Will Die for wanting to know about what we like when it comes to our pickles. As for me, folks, I'm Ryan Caltastic, or at A Goddess. I don't think I have anything too crazy coming up. Oh, I'm supposed to do a live stream today with Dragons in Genesis at 5 p.m.
They are in the chat right now too.
Oh, are they? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Let me check. Is Jason in here? Jason, are we are we still streaming tonight at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time? I apologize. I meant to get back to you and I did not. But anyway, look out for that. Possibly make sure you stay tuned for Ember, who is up next.
Me too.
And we'll see you tomorrow. Monday through Friday. We are here every day. Monday through Friday, we're live at 9 a.m. to 11. Mondays is Java and Jugs, but the rest of the week is Chris and myself for the Daily Atheist Morning Show. So come chill and hang out with us and just have some fun. I'll see you guys later. Love you. Thank you for being here. Bye, everybody. Bye. Okay, yes, we will be live tonight at 5 p.m. talking about Enoch. I have to get that link up. I apologize for the delay. Look for that, everybody.
Yeah, send the link so I can watch something at work.
Okay, we will do that. All right. Love you guys.